The VAs from the Philippines are amazing at black and white tasks. Pay me by the hour. I will get it done. I have never had to worry about a credit card or any kind of issue with them. They're not going to steal my ideas. It's weird. They're not really want to run their own company. They want to just have the security of getting paid by the hour, know what they're getting paid, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I used to play
Right.
Sim City and a bunch of, survival games and whatnot. I got to be honest. To me, this is like sitting down at night and playing one of my video games.
Right.
I just love it. I just enjoy it that much. And, when you sit down and, you see that order come in that you just made $23 net profit on,
Mr. Hirsch.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, maybe you should jump in this because, bro, the way you hire and run your VAs is super corporate style, bro.
Yeah, I paid them salary.
Right. So listen to the advice Dan gives and see if you can apply it because, as Dan said, the whole corporate style, like it might not be the right way in this business. Yeah. So
Yeah, it
Dan,
is a good point.
what would be this
well,
incentive that you would go with?
look, and again, I mean, hopefully this doesn't come off wrong, but you've basically got VAs from, the Philippines and you've got VAs from Pakistan. There's other ones, but those are the ones I'm familiar with. I would say my experience with VAs from the Philippines, they're extremely loyal and they will do the work, but they want to get paid by the hour. And they don't, again, I'm making a
Generalization, yeah.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't mean that everybody's gonna be like that, but in general, what I have found is the VAs from the Philippines are amazing at black and white tasks. Pay me by the hour. I will get it done. I have never had to worry about a credit card or any kind of issue with them. They're not going to steal my ideas. It's weird. They don't really want to run their own company. They want to just have the security of getting paid by the hour, know what they're getting paid, yada, yada, yada. So those are going to be my foot soldiers of just very mundane tasks. My
Right.
Pakistani VAs are, holy shit, are they motivated? They are very money driven. They are very, very, very ambitious. And those are the ones that, you can incentivize. At this point, I'm at 50-50 profit sharing with them. And man, they make 50% of the profit. They want that account to grow and they don't want to lose it. They don't want to risk it. Now, again, you can have bad ones, you can have good ones. You can't just, use anybody.
Mhm.
I've got one main guy that I work with, and we've got. I mean, I think he's got a team of 25 people now that run it. But again, I have TikToks and Amazons and you know eBay's and the whole nine yards. But that is basically a pure 50-50 split. And boy, do they take care of the stuff, and boy, do they grow these accounts. And again, I do nothing for training them. When I latched onto them, it's funny. I actually met them because I was trying to get Amazon accounts, and these guys were creating Amazon accounts, and we just started the conversation, and I think that was through Fiverr is where I met
Mhm.
my main guy,
Mhm.
and we just started talking, and he's like, "Oh, you got to do it this way," and I got to do that way. So he kept giving me tips, and these guys know 100 times more than I do. They just want to work, 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 and make as much money as humanly possible. So and if I paid them by the hour or a salary, I'd be making a third of what I make now.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. Now, if I tried to do that with my Philippine, VAs, I don't think they would have. I don't think they would have been the same kind of motivated, right? They just want to get paid by the hour, know what they're going to make, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I think my Pakistan VAs, they might be working 80 hours a week for all I know. They work so hard because they know they can make unlimited money if they do it, if they work at it. So I don't
Yeah.
have much more than that. It's not like I was intimately training them. We have learned a shit ton together, but I would say that they were already very educated, even more so than me, going in on it.
Yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, no, that or what do you think about what Dan just said, yeah?
I do think it is a good point to put them on salary. I mean, on commission if you want them to have like skin in the game and just put all their effort into it. But I kind of do a mix of both. Like I'll have my manager on small salary and commissions, and then everyone working under him will be salary.
Gotcha. Yeah, Dan, I believe that's exactly that's the situation that you have.
Yeah,
You have like
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I only pay my main guy. He pays the whole team. So, however he structures that is up to him.
right,
And whatever. And I did incentives with with my Philippines, and when we hit certain, revenues and whatever, I'd give them bonuses and stuff. I want to be very generous to them. This is your family. This is your friends. I mean, they have a kid. I throw them extra for a birthday gift, and you figure out some of the holidays and that are important to their religion, and you donate and celebrate
mhm,
and whatever. So this is not just an employee, you're creating a team. And I'm an old man at this point, so I want to create a team that can run this whether I'm here or not. And again, look, every person, every situation is different. I might have just completely lucked into it for all I know. I'm just telling you kind of my experience and
no,
my feelings around it.
you're 100% right. I actually have the same thing I have two VAs on salary who are managing the eBay accounts, but I have an account manager that oversees my entire agency, and that is the partner that I have, and she's on their case like left, right, and center. She finds the little things, right? Like for she cares so much, she looks at the little things, but she gets like she's very well incentivized. So that's I think you're spot on, dude. I think I believe I missed that all these years. Like just to kind of like it's something we did, but like it's not something that I thought about up front, right? People need to be well incentivized to work hard. What are your thoughts on, is it fair to say that you're doing all of this to work towards freedom?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm in a little different situation than most people. I'm already well established. I'm older and stuff. I get a bunch of rental properties and businesses and stuff. So I
Mhm.
got to be honest, listen, we all want more money. Trust me, I can find a way to spend it. But this eBay stuff has become very enjoyable. I mean, I used to play
Right.
Sim City and a bunch of, survival games and whatnot. I got to be honest, to me, this is like sitting down at night and playing one of my video games.
Right.
I just love it. I just enjoy it that much. And, when you sit down and you see that order come in that you just made $23 net profit on,
Right.
it just jazzes you up. And I would sit and do that any day before sitting in front of the PS5,
True.
playing Call of Duty or whatever. This is just my game. It might sound crazy, but it's my relaxing time. I mean, I literally, usually from 8 o'clock till midnight, I'm messing around with my eBay stuff, and it's more my relaxing time. I know it sounds crazy, but you know, maybe I'm weird, but
No, no.
I've enjoyed it, but I've got pretty good freedom as it is already.
So let me ask this to Lance then. Lance, Mark mentioned to me something super interesting recently, right? He told me that $600 in Nicaragua gives you like Mark, do you want to say it? Because I think you're gonna say it better than me.
No, yeah, we were just talking about so I lived in Nicaragua for 14 years, right? And we were just talking about what the different levels of like income would get you. And like $600 a month would give you like a basic life, like 1250 would give you like a part-time housekeeper in a house with a pool, and like $2,500 will give you like a full-time cook, a driver, a house with a pool. You live by the beach, like, and you get like nice, clean food every day. A personal trainer that comes home to your house. So yeah, but go ahead, sorry.
Mark told me that a chef came to his house in the whole uniform with
Yeah,
just
I
two
didn't even
thousand
ask
bucks.
him for a uniform. Like, he just used to show up in a uniform with his name on it. And like all of those things, when I used to have like dropship house and grind camp and stuff, and these guys come down and like live with me sometimes or see where I live. That was some of the things people were like, what the fuck? But But it's just like, for instance, the full-time chef, I used to pay him like $300 a month. And like he would like do the groceries, come early in the morning. I'll wake up to smelling hot coffee and like proper breakfast. And it's bizarre. But the
Do you remember Mark's videos? Like how he was that huge
Brother,
mansion
listen,
with a
Mark, I
pool?
was gonna say you're my original OG. I don't remember what year it was. I don't know, maybe 16, 17, 18, one of there, but
right, yeah, around those years.
I used to watch your video and it's amazing even being on the Zoom with you like this, just when we all get on, when we all start the process, right? There's 15 or 20 of you guys in this drop shipping space on YouTube and you're like gods
Right.
to us. So, dude, I loved your videos. I think I mentioned to you a few calls ago. My favorite video that you mentioned, when you're talking about filling orders and you're like, and whatever you do, don't fill orders drunk. I'm telling you, you'll screw it up every time. And I was laughing my ass off because I can't tell you how many times, at midnight I might have had a couple drinks and I'm filling orders and 3 days later I realized I screw stupid shit up because I was doing it while I was drinking. Oh my God, I love that video, but I'm just telling you, man, it's awesome being on the Zoom with you like this.